So this is our Electric Fountain Cream Ale. And it's based off of our 6 bushel. It's a cream ale. Cream ale is usually some Pilsner, some base malt, and it usually has corn in it.
Yeah.
Which some people like to jump the gun on.
Yeah.
And there's also a little bit of barley, and then we put a little acid malt in to kind of balance the pH on this. So it's again, when we talk about, we were talking about in a previous episode about Great Debate being an easy drinker. Cream ale on the ale end of this, and not the lager end of this, is another very easy drinking.
Yeah, which you brought up. We had 6 bushel on for a while, which was it filled a great hole.
Years.
But we kind of shifted and moved things around, and this kind of fits that hole now.
Yeah. So with this, we've added some coffee and a little bit of vanilla to balance it off. And when we tell people there's coffee in the beer, they think it's going to be a dark beer, and they're surprised when it comes out this bright yellow.
Yeah. So the coffee we use is from our neighbors.
Yeah, right up the street.
Yeah, the Electric Fountain Brewing Company. Ryan and his crew over there actually roast their beans. They source them and then he roasts them. So kind of a double local.
Yeah, which is something we like to do. You know, one of our philosophies here is community. It's kind of who we are, and we want to involve our community in our beers.
Yeah.
And having a roastery right across the street.
Literally across the street.
Yeah.
And so when this is on the schedule, it's always fun to call Tierney up and say, hey, we need to order some coffee.
Yeah, which we love supporting the EFB, and you know, I think they're doing kind of the same thing, bringing people together in a fun atmosphere, and so it's great to kind of do that and support them as well.
So for a long time, when we do, one of our fun things is usually a week release
Oh yeah.
of a fun flavored beer. And a lot of those used to be based off of our cream ale. And the cream ale just doesn't have much in the profile. So if you're adding something to it, you really can get those flavors.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me like if you took our favorite is the Monster cookie, and you can take the Monster cookie and you can put chocolate chips and M&Ms, or you could put macadamia and white chocolate, or you could totally be crazy and pick like peanut butter chips, or so I feel like the cream ale kind of like does that. It really takes whatever flavors you put in it.
Absolutely, without changing it.
It's almost like the spoon for whatever you're eating.
Oh.
Like it's like a vehicle to get the other flavors.
Agreed.
In.
Yeah.
Like if we were going to try to do this with Bayview has such a grapefruit flavor in it that it would be kind of dominating whatever else you tried to do with it.
Yeah, the coffee in it would kind of
so they would collide. Any flavor that you put in there would almost collide with that. Unless you're doing something in that same citrus.
That complements the citrus.
So having a base beer that doesn't have a lot of extra flavors that are fighting in there, this beer really, you taste that coffee and you taste that vanilla right off your first sips.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the second sip. Sometimes the third sip.
That's probably two.
I think this beer surprises everybody.
It totally does.
Agreed. I've had people, I'll ask them if they like coffee and they'll say yes. And they'll be like, but I like light beer. I don't like dark beer. And I'm like, oh,
like
wait a minute. We have something for you. And I put it down and like their eyes kind of like, what?
Right.
Well, they're confused at first.
And then it's almost like they don't want to believe me or don't want to like it.
No.
And then they try it and they're like, oh, this is really good.
And the coffee flavor, we're not brewing a coffee for this. We actually take 10 pounds of whole beans that have been roasted, and we put them in a bucket and we cold brew it in our cooler downstairs for 3 days.
A very sanitized bucket, might I say.
And it's it just comes out, and it doesn't have that bitterness.
Yeah.
So smooth.
I think it works perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally does, because I'm
Agreed.
not a big bitter coffee fan, and I think it's great.
Yeah. Ooh, see it.
we're seeing it first.
See it before you smell it. This has
Very golden,
Very
clear and golden.
So
Golden.
I'd say it's a lot different than like a Great Debate, which is more straw. This
Yeah.
is a lot more gold
Golden.
yellow,
I would agree. Yeah, 100%.
a little darker in color.
been,
Yeah.
yeah. Still opaque. Like you can see, or not, excuse me, not opaque. Clear. You can see through
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
Crystal.
Yeah, crystal clear. Yeah.
I wouldn't buy a crystal that would look like that, but that's fine.
Nothing that yellow. So you smell it.
Coffee.
Smell it.
Yeah. So much coffee.
I get all coffee.
Yeah. All coffee.
100% coffee.
It doesn't even really smell like beer. It's
No,
lovely.
it doesn't. It smells
This could
like
be a candle, a vanilla coffee candle.
But it's a light coffee smell.
yeah,
it's
but
not
it's
like
not-
over.
No,
like a
no,
blonde
it's not
roast.
a blonde roast.
Yeah.
Yeah, blonde roast.
I know. I listen to you when you order. Are we tasting it?
Yeah, we're sipping. So not the
Good.
first.
So I get that coffee in the very front, and then the vanilla just sticks on the very back of my throat and lasts
absolutely.
there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good.
They're with. So I need to do. I feel like we need to do honest reviews here, so people understand the difference between our beers. Whereas, like when I drink a Great Debate, I don't have any of that lingering bitter bitterness.
Right.
This, there is some.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but with the coffee and that, there is some of that beer. I want to say a beer.
I honestly feel like I feel when I try your coffee.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
it
an
is-
actual coffee is what I kind of feel like.
Which it's
After
probably
one sip of your coffee is like almost what I feel after drinking half.
But I
of
think
this
that's
beer.
the bitterness that's in the beer.
Right,
Is
I
you're-
think it's
you're
a
getting that little
mix.
bit of bitterness that's in the coffee, and that's what's
And-
kind of hanging on.
Yeah.
But I really think that vanilla lasts longer
Yeah.
than
Oh
that
yeah.
bitterness.
Well, yeah, man, it's taken me over half of a glass to get that.
Yeah, you're just
mouthfeel.
talking to the super sensitive beer girl here who didn't like beer when we opened Quincy Brewing Co. So I appreciate what we're doing here, but I do feel like there's a little bit more bitterness than.
Thanks
than
for
the beers
trusting
that I
us. Appreciate it.
like. Okay, so if you're scoring it, Josh, what are you scoring it?
Oh man, this is a tough one. Because I do not love cream ales.
And you don't love coffee, so
And I
that's like
don't
a
like
double
But honestly, like
out of 10.
for what it is and what it was designed, I feel like it's a good 7, maybe an 8.
Okay.
I mean, again, for what it was designed as a coffee, vanilla coffee beer, like I think it's really good.
Yeah, and I would agree. The fact that I can drink it, like, I mean, I'm not chugging this one for sure. Like,
You're not supposed to chug beer anyway, at least not ours.
okay, but through an episode, like my other beers are like drained.
Yeah. And I should say an 8. It's an 8. 7's too low. For me.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be unfair
That's fine.
because I don't like
Be
beer.
honest.
Like I don't like this style of beer.
We all know.
Yeah. I don't like this style of beer, and so there's that, and it's got the bitterness in the back end. But it's executed. Like we did what we intended to do, and a lot of people love this beer, which is like
A
our
lot of
top
people.
5 sellers.
It's
Like there's a
always.
reason. There's a reason. It's a top 5, and I love it, and I love our EFB neighbors. So I'm just gonna call it a 6 because it's well executed.
I would always say that this beer, if you have somebody who's new to craft beer and who comes in and they may not be a big beer drinker or they may not be a big coffee drinker, or maybe they do like, maybe
Yeah.
they do like a lot of coffee. I think this beer has a drinkability factor that is extremely high.
Yeah.
And I think I think this has been a first beer for a lot of people new to craft beer
Yeah.
in our facility.
I would agree. I could sit down and have this beer. Do I like it as much as Lost Treasure and Great Debate? Maybe not. But I do like this beer.
But as an intro to
well,
craft brewery, let's say you came in with a group and this isn't really your thing, and we gave you a few styles. This is the one they're going to pick. They're like, it has the flavor that they like, it has the style that they like, and the drinkability is just hot.
If you like coffee, I mean, I feel like it's a go.
Absolutely.
It's funny you say that. Usually when someone comes up and says, well, I don't really like beer, the first thing I say is, well, do you like coffee? And the next thing I say is, do you like sour candy?
Yeah.
Usually those are my first two like go-to entry beers is electric or a sour.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Sour.
It's amazing how many people are like, oh my gosh, I love this. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But I think this is well, I mean, 6 is low probably, but only because I have to rate according to what I like. So there's that. I wouldn't, yeah, it's a great beer.
It's a good first beer if you're
It
coming
is a great beer.
to the
It's a
brewery for the
great
first time.
beer. Yeah.
Cheers to
I'm
EFB.
still gonna,
Our neighbors.